Hi, and welcome to the studio in Stockholm, Sweden. Here we've been producing films together with scientists for more or less 30 years, and it's been mostly about forests and trees, and lately also about the connection with water and trees and forests. We have a lot of different projects, but this big project we do have now, and that's also the reason why we were in Lisbon filming urban trees there. This project now we're working on, it's called Our Common Water, and it is a project that we will visit 10-12 different interesting places in mostly in Europe, and it will be in the end it will be a 55-minute long documentary for television about the connection with and then the importance about trees and green infrastructure and water. So that's why we were in Lisbon and filming the urban trees there, and I will show you some clips from that in this video later on, but also from Stockholm lately. Actually yesterday we were filming street trees in Stockholm, just to give you a glimpse of what Stockholm offers in that way. But first, I would love to introduce you to my colleagues and the scientists, the scientific team behind this Our Common Water project. And it's Lars Högbom and Martin Futter. And they will show up now in a little film here.
Hi, my name is Lars Högbom and I'm working within this project, Our Common Water, together with Johan and Martin.
Hi, I'm Martin Futter, and I'm also part of this project where we're trying to raise awareness about the importance of trees and forests in the water cycle. And today we want to talk a little bit about urban forests. I started working with Lars about 10 years ago in Swedish forest, which is fantastic, but most of us spend most of our time in the city, so it's these kind of urban trees that are perhaps more important to us in our daily lives.
True, and I mean, being a forest ecologist, it's not every day's life to work among urban trees, but they're very important.
And we get a lot of benefits from them that maybe we don't appreciate all the time. There are the obvious ones. I think everybody likes to be in a park with trees around them, but there's also some real benefits we get from the water cycle. Trees transpire a lot of the rain that falls, and when they transpire that as they breathe, that cools the atmosphere, and that it's important sometimes in Sweden, but certainly quite relevant, I think, in a lot of southern Europe.
And trees are also important to catch pollution, dust and aerosols and so on. So trees are important.
Yeah, and it's not just the trees, it's the whole park landscape contributes. Where we're standing, we've got open ground, we've got grass. When rain falls, it'll infiltrate into the soil here instead of if it falls on pavement or concrete where it just runs off. And that infiltration can have some real benefits. It can recharge the groundwater that we need for drinking. It can clean water, and it can help to prevent flooding. Where the Pellisvansla stuff is. Oh, look at that! Oh, yeah. Look at that.
For instance, one of the very striking differences between our trees and those in the cities in the United States were that the value that they created for the houses was much higher, because each tree in our urban setting would benefit lots of apartments, because we have different apartments looking at the same tree. So it multiplies the value of the tree by the number of apartments, and that was a very interesting difference between our setting and the United States. The others were very much more comparable. The benefits of trees for the temperature regulation, for the water regulation also, trying the green spaces, trying to avoid the floods. That's a very important component. One of the important things also is that we can use these results also to to make recommendations for the different people involved, not only for the urban planning, which is very important, but also for the architects and landscape architects, because there are some issues that are not very well understood, at least from classical architects. That they look at a tree like a platform that creates some shade, and they look at tree not as a biological entity that lives, that transpires, respires, and so there are all of the other effects that a platform will not do.
I want to show you here something. Here in Val da Montanha Green Park, we are planting here a massive area of trees and shrubs under high densities. We are trying to create a fast urban forest. We are doing that mixing shrubs and trees under high densities, protecting the trees to survive in the first summer because the hot is very high, and we want to reduce the urban heat island effect, which is a benefit for all the people who live around. But at the same time, we are going to increase the capacity of retaining water from the rain and to reduce the runoff and the problems of floods. This is a project under the climate adaptation issue, and we want to create in 4 or 5 years a consistent shadow area here. And all these plants were planted by hand by citizens, volunteers. This January there were almost 5,000 people planting 2,000 plants one day under the Green Capital 2020, which is Lisbon is hosting. So here in Praça de Espanha renovation, we are going to put in practice all the scientific evidence why it's important to tackle the heat effect that asphalt and concrete are making in the cities. They are creating warmer cities, and removing asphalt and planting trees to greening the city, they are nature-based solutions that can be decisive in the forthcoming decades in cities like Lisbon, southern European cities. We have this project of Praça de Espanha and others that are running over the climate adaptation targets. And trees are a very cost-effective nature-based solutions that can tackle not only with temperature, because they create shadow, but other co-benefits, including the air pollution removal, for instance, but also the co-benefit of retaining rainwater to helping to infiltrate along the roots in the soil, improving the soil quality with the leaves. So they are the best thing we can do in cities when we want to green it. It's to planting trees, removing asphalt, and putting green.
kan man ju